We'll show you the good and the bad and a lot of ugly.
One year. It's been
1 year in our van.
1 year with Mr. Lemon.
Yeah. There's a reason we call him Mr. Lemon.
And you're gonna find that out today. If you're new here, we're the Vancaskeys. And we have officially owned this amazing at times, terrible at times, Class B Thor Polaro 20A.
Yep.
And we are going to take you today through the reality of it. What has our year been like? It's kind of like a van tour, but not like you're used to.
Right. All right, let's get started up here under the hood. If you remember in one of our previous videos, our alternator started smoking.
What's going on? It smells like fire. Bob, it's literally smoking.
What is?
This, look, there's smoke coming.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
We didn't know what it was at the time, but we ended up getting a hold of La Mesa. Joe came out and fixed it for us and had to end up changing the alternator. So I don't know if you can actually see it. So, but the alternator is right there.
So that one day where this was all smoky, that was the alternator?
Yes.
Oh.
There was a bad coil in the alternator. It started smoking, and that's why it would stop, because I'm assuming whatever was like off, burned off. So everything else under here has been great. The ProMaster has the V6 Pentastar engine. It's been around for a long time. Great engine. I've had no issues with it, just regular oil changes and keeping on top of your fluids. All right. Moving on, while we're here at the front of the van, you can see that our skylight is a different color.
Oh.
We were told they will paint it, but I don't know if we'll ever take it back to them because I'm a little frustrated with them. They did change the skylight because it would not seal and actually flew open when we were driving down the highway. So that works great now. Don't have any issues, but it's white rather than the charcoal gray of the van. So we've actually had no issues with any of the connections on this side. We've got shore power, we've got our propane fill, our toilet, city water connection. All this stuff has been great. So here's some really cool upgrades that we did here in the back. We added this fixed ladder. It has a tire rack on it with a full-size spare. Then we have this box that we added so that we can store all of our, electrical cords and tools and everything here in the back. This helps keep the van a little bit cleaner and all that kind of dirty stuff out of it. And this was just a really nice upgrade. We got the ladder and the box from Illuminous, and then we just went out and purchased this spare tire. So we've got a spare tire and just that confidence when we are out driving around that we've got a full-size spare and we can take care of things if we need to.
Because the van only came with a tire that, I think, did you have to blow it up?
Yeah, it came with just a little pump. So, and like some fix-a-flat, so like almost worthless.
Yeah.
And so when I asked them at the RV place about it, they were like, oh, well, you'll always be somewhere where there's service. And I'm like, really? I don't think there's service here.
All right, let's keep going.
So we've had some issues with our awning. Nothing wrong with the actual awning. It was the electrical system with the awning. And we actually have what they call a VM ProMaster. So that's what controls all of the components, the lights and everything. And that's how we would open up our awning. And so we actually couldn't open it at one point, and it was all because the VM ProMaster failed. But all in all, this has been a great awning.
We love having an awning.
Yeah, so having it in some nice shade, it's a win. I will say I'm quite impressed having the propane connection here at the back of the van. So we have this external propane connection and it is regulated. So what's really cool is we just changed our hoses on like our grill and our fire pit. So I had to think of what it was called, which is really nice because then we can just interconnect those. We don't have to carry a separate bottle. It just uses the van system. So this has been a really, really nice feature, something that I wasn't expecting to be so wonderful to have.
Yeah, so that is a big plus in our book. Big plus.
All right, so up here, as you can see, we have our air conditioner, our solar panel, the wine guard is next to you. We've had no issues with anything up here other than the skylight. So, but yeah, everything up here has been fine. I just clean the solar panels pretty much every other day or so when we're out here boondocking. But yeah, everything up here is great. One really nice feature of this ladder here at the top, it's got those little posts. It's really nice so that you don't slide off from the top. I've seen a couple of them where they have like a solid hoop up there. I like the way that Illuminous has designed that so you don't slide off.
All right, moving on to these swivel chairs. These have been such a game changer. We love having them. We love that you can just swivel it so easy, which I should probably show you. Let's see, go up, go around, and I can go all the way to the front, but then I can go all the way here. So you just kind of go up, click, scoot back, ta-da! And we turn these all the time and sit here that way with this table. You know, especially if we have friends, we can play cards and eat dinner. I just love these chairs that come with this van. So we've been very happy with that. But yeah, I think we've had no issues with any of this up front, but I will let Bob tell you all about this addition.
I elected to go ahead and upgrade the rear view mirror with this digital rear view mirror. So there is a camera that we added to the back of the van, and then it also has a camera on the front with a memory card, and it's powered off the van. It works off the chassis battery. An awesome, awesome upgrade. Before, when you were looking in your rearview mirror, you essentially were looking at the bed, which you really couldn't see anything. It was useless. It was just in the way. Now we've got this wonderful view behind us, so you can see traffic, you can see all sorts of stuff, and it's recording. So if we ever do have an accident or something, it would be recorded. So this has just been really, really nice and super useful, being able to see behind you when you're driving.
And click here on that video if you want to see how he installed it. It wasn't an easy project, but he did install it all by himself.
Moving on, this table. So this was an ad. So this is the Lagoon table mount. And we actually took like an extra large TV tray, basically just bolted it to the top. So I didn't have to do any work then. It's got rounded corners, it's solid wood. We just screwed into the bottom. So the tabletop is super easy, and you could replace it if you needed to. And then I just added this Lagoon mount. I did have to reinforce kind of down here, added some screws and screwed it to the frame of the chair. But now we've got this wonderful table that we can,
You also use it to put it over here for extra room when you're cooking.
Correct. You've used this on like conference calls and stuff while we're driving. Wonderful upgrade. Really enjoy this. Recommend you doing it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie though. Well, let's come up here and have a seat and we can walk you through all of the wonderful issues we've been having.
With what?
So this is a very common problem that we're finding in our van. So they used really cheap particle board to make all of the exterior of the frame of the cabinets and everything. And then they basically put a piece of stick-on tape. So in the heat, I mean, our van is, charcoal. So just being in the sun, you get that sun beating down on it. It gets hot in here, and all this adhesive just literally comes apart.
And that's not the only spot. Let's show them.
Oh, we'll be here all day. So it's inside of all of the cabinets, same thing.
Yeah. So every single cabinet looks like that.
Yeah, it's really kind of disappointing. Inside of a lot of the cabinets, the faces of things.
Look at under there.
Like here. I mean, it makes me disappointed just looking at it all.
Yeah. And then we got to talk about on the way here to this location, we were going down a bumpy road. What happened on that bumpy road?
That's right. So this panel under here, I kind of forced it back in there so that it will stay, but this panel came off.
The cabinet.
What cabinet?
The cabinet where the dishes are is come out.
Like a cabinet, or is it just the cover?
It's the cover on the bottom.
And it was just dangling down, so super awesome.
Yeah, and then you could see the paper underneath there.
Yeah, more. And the problem is, it's not like, oh, well, I'll just stick it back down or get some new adhesive. It like shrinks and changes shape. So
what would you say is a solution for us? We do have a warranty.
Yeah.
Will they fix all of that?
I don't know if they will fix it or not.
Yeah, we do have a warranty.
We probably should reach out to them and ask them. If not, the only real option, I mean, personally, I would take this off, replace this panel. I mean, it's just a cheap, I don't know, like 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch piece of plywood. I probably would upgrade this and then like either paint it or something. I don't know what else to do. Like try to get it to match. Like, I don't know why they didn't use more of this. This is kind of like a, I don't know what finish it is, but it's like plastic.
It's nice.
This is actually quite nice. More of this and less of this. Yeah, this headliner did get replaced. It looked really bad. It needs to be.
It looks okay now.
It's better. It's not perfect, but it looks better now than it did when we purchased this. This was all like literally hanging open like this. It was terrible.
Yeah. So we did, the warranty covered it.
Warranty covered that. We got that taken care of. I haven't been super impressed with the screen. Primarily, I like the idea of this track. Oh, hang on. It's kind of, you know, like bugs can get in that.
Yeah, there's still a gap. It won't close all the way. And it's not the easiest thing to open and close.
No, it kind of binds up quite easily. So not super impressed with this. The other thing is being tall. I think we hit our head on this like at least once a day.
Yep, I already did today.
So I don't know. It's okay because then we don't have to like carry an extra set of screens.
Mm-hmm.
But functional, I'd only give it like an okay rating. Let's do something positive.
I love that.
So the sink that it comes with is a piece of junk. So on a positive note, we upgraded it. We changed it to this. We got this on Amazon. It was relatively cheap, but it's super nice because now we've got this hose. You can spray off outside. You can clean your dishes. You can move it out of the way. Before it was kind of fixed and low. Couldn't really get anything underneath it to wash it. So this has been a wonderful upgrade.
Good job, Bob. Bob did it all by himself.
Yep, keeping it positive.
We'll link the video if you need to know how to do it.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge with that is the fittings for like RV faucets are different than a household faucet. So I had to be a little creative to get that to work. BM Pro. What are my thoughts with BM Pro? First, I think it's actually a really cool like technology. You basically take all the components in the van and you run it to that central location. So air conditioner, the awning, the lights, the water pump, everything that's in the van gets connected to this. So this is your single place to control everything. And you do have a couple of buttons down here. So if the screen's not working or you're having some issues, you can use those. You can connect to this with Bluetooth. If you're in the van, I can use my phone to connect with it. Or you can connect it to Wi-Fi and then be able to connect to it remotely. The disadvantage is everything runs to the BM Pro. So when ours failed, and stopped working, you couldn't control anything. So it was a little irritating because you'd have to connect with your phone and then you'd have to wait. And Bluetooth, it's kind of a sketchy connection. It doesn't maintain
we had a
it.
workaround. Our phone.
Yeah, we had a workaround with our phones.
But that did not work.
But it was quite annoying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. So this is great. I like it. But when it doesn't work, you will not like it.
And the interesting thing is when we bought this, that BM Pro didn't even work. So we had the screen replaced. And then later on, we had to have...
like the main circuit board replaced.
So the thing is in this van, you think, well, gosh, no one's ever... if you ever want to resell this van, you're not going to be able to. But here's my argument to that. Everything we're replacing then makes it brand new. What we're doing is fixing everything. Does that help? Probably not.
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
So here in the Talaro, we have our electrical controls are all right here. So they are centrally located. So we have our main disconnect here. And obviously this is just for the 12-volt system. So when you're not traveling, you can turn this off. Saves your batteries. Here is your inverter. So it's pretty straightforward to just basically turn it on. Supposedly you can leave it on and just never have to worry about it. But I turn it off whenever I'm not using it, just because we've had so many battery problems. And then down here we have our solar charger. And we've actually had no issues with the solar charger. It has functioned like a champ.
Okay.
That's about the only electrical thing that has.
Oh, you skipped this. Why?
Well, let me jump back quick
I'm
to
just joking.
The inverter. The only issue we've really had with the inverter is the way in which it was mounted in the back of the van. They basically used like these tiny little screws to hold the giant inverter up. And of course we went down a bumpy road and it came off. So it's just bouncing around in our electrical like cabinet.
Yeah, that was a few months ago. We just happened to look in there. We weren't even trying to look in there.
No, were we having fridge issues? I can't remember.
We were having something and you opened the door and lo and behold, the inverter.
It was like falling out on me. So our inverter has come detached.
Oh.
It's supposed to be screwed in right here.
Okay.
And otherwise, right now, everything is just hanging there.
Yep.
So
that happened.
Yeah. So then this thing. So this display.
11% state of charge.
So this is actually part of the alternator charging. It's one of the displays for that. But it does give you a really good indication for your state of charge and your state of health of your batteries. Okay,
so on to the ugly truth.
The ugly truth. So we've had to change our batteries. Our Rely-On batteries that came stock with the van.
The lithium.
Yeah, the lithium coach batteries. They basically just died. So they stopped charging. So literally nothing electrical would work. And it was really difficult to diagnose because we have solar, because we have alternator charging. We could actually run things in the van just with the solar power that was coming in or the alternator when things were running. So it took quite a while to figure out what the problem was, but we ended up replacing the batteries and we have two, 100 amp hour, 12.8 volt lithium iron phosphate batteries that so far have been running like a champ.
Moving on to the bathroom. The pro of the bathroom is that we have a bathroom. I am so glad that we have a bathroom, that we have a fixed toilet. We have the option for a shower. There's more storage in here. I'm very thankful for that because on our previous van, which we used to own a Thor Rise 18T, we did not have a bathroom, and that we didn't realize it would be an issue, but it was an issue. So that's the pro, but there are some cons. Okay, I am 6 foot. Bob's 6'1". You think, well, it's fine. It's just a small bathroom. But when you get in here, for me to shut the door to go to the bathroom, it's like I have to get in here, turn, and it's not that comfortable. But again, the pro is that we have a bathroom. That's where I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna live in that grateful spot, but the reality is it is definitely a tight fit. And then you do have this little shower. It's okay. I took a shower last night and I was really thankful I could take a shower. We had taken a big hike, but then the pro is There's hot water in this van, which we did not have in our last van. We now have an option for hot water, and that has been a game changer. So I was able to take a hot shower last night. Game changer. I love that this van has a hot water feature. So there's that. Let me see in here. So then right here, you just have your toilet. You know, we keep all of our cleaning supplies in here. There's the toilet paper. Here's your shower. Here's a sink that we've never used. We don't think it's actually a good placement. Here's this. We've never used that. Soap. We just have to put that away when we're traveling. And then there's just extra storage. The mirror's kind of dirty. And then we have a fan. So right here, turn the fan on. And then when you're not using it, turn it off. And then you just close this. But we'll keep it open for now. But yeah, there is a bathroom tour with some pros and cons.
And here is the actual hot water controller. So this will control the heat inside the van. So it's a combination like air heater, hot water heater. And this is actually for the hot water. So just a super nice system. Really like the hot water and heating system in the van.
We have really big drawers. They're very messy right now. And you just have two cupboards that we have a bunch of junk in. Little junk in. Yeah, we have a microwave that is currently not working. We found out yesterday. It's not the microwave's fault. It's...
We think it's the plug. We tried plugging something else into that outlet and it didn't work.
Yeah.
The breaker's on, so probably gonna have to tear into that.
Yeah. So if you see, we have this sign right here. Days since last incident. We had to erase the number last night. It now should have a big fat 0. 0 days since the last incident. Okay, so we have the bedroom. This is a almost king-size bed that we've kind of made ourselves. It came with two like couches with cushions. And then obviously there's a piece of wood that goes across so you can make it one full bed, and it always comes with like those cushions that are like this big, but they're very uncomfortable. We don't even use them. They stay brand new in storage. But right here is what we've done is we bought a mattress and we bought a mattress pad. And this mattress is from Costco. It's a Simmons mattress, and we bought a full size and a twin size. And we cut the twin in half. And so when you have a full and half of a twin, it makes a perfect fit for the bed. And so that's what we did. This bed is so comfortable.
So I'm the bearer of bad news. Back here, we've had some issues with stuff under the bed. And obviously I can't really show you because the bed's made, but underneath on the driver's side is where our water tank is. We had the gravity fill connection on the water tank come loose, which created a huge mess inside the van, and we got water everywhere. And then when they replaced it, they missed one of the fittings. And so when we were driving around, it continued to splash everywhere. So yeah, that was really fun on this side with the water tank. On this side, in the front half, we have our electrical system. This is where the BM Pro is. Our inverter is here. And then there's a bunch of connections for all the cables and everything that go underneath the van, because that's where our bus bar is. That's where the solar power comes in, the batteries connect, the alternator connects, and then the batteries are down underneath the van. So not super excited about that design, but it does keep things out of the van, so we have a little bit more room. So out of that, we've replaced the BM Pro. We have had some fuse issues with the refrigerator, and we've also then had to remount the inverter. One nice thing about this layout though is we do have a lot of storage. We've got some upper storage along both sides, 2 in the back on my side, 2 in the back on Hillary's side. So in conclusion, I am actually happy with the van from its features perspective. The BM Pro with the control system, the hot water heating system is great. The inverter works well, the solar works well. I mean, the propane stove, the refrigerator, I love all of those pieces and parts that are inside the van. The one thing that kind of I'm not so happy with is just the craftsmanship, the choice of materials in some of the areas, and we'll just have to work through that.
Do you think the craftsmanship it's cheaper because of the price we paid?
My opinion is that Thor is a very large company. They own actually several brands. For a B van in general, I think Thor has like what I would call an entry price point.
Okay.
If you look at some of the other manufacturers out there, they're more expensive. And the reason that they're more expensive is because of the choice of materials that are inside the van.
Yeah.
So
at least in our opinion.
That's my opinion. And so,
but we did not know that when you spend $100,000 on a van, that it might be an entry van.
Right. I for sure was like sticker shock when we went out and started looking at these and purchased one. And I did make some assumptions that, you know, they were kind of all the same. Their layouts are very similar across the manufacturers, but it's all about the details.
Mm-hmm. That's what we think. But we are, I mean, we're kind of bummed.
Kind of bummed on the quality aspect, yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, I mean, we're pretty happy. There's just been a lot of issues. The purpose behind our channel is that we would be really real with you guys. And so on one hand, we've been able to help a lot of people and show people, you know, the reality of actually buying a Class B van or an RV or whatever you buy, what it can kind of look like. Sometimes it's not always butterflies and rainbows. It can look like that on social media, but it's definitely not. So this is what was in our price range at the time though. So we didn't even have an option to go like and get like a Winnebago that was more expensive or a Sprinter. We were, you know, freaking newbies with a small budget, which it's not even a small budget. We actually thought we had a big budget, but you know, we've just had to learn a lot the hard way. Being in this van world for the last 2 years, but I am grateful that, you know, we get to share it with you guys and show you just what the reality is and be as honest, you know, just be honest and show you everything. So we got some ha-has and some lolos. Come here, Bob. Can you fit?
Oh, I can fit.
Can you? Oh, that's a tight fit. Okay, so here's our 1 year in this van tour, the good, bad, and ugly, the ugly truth, really.
Yeah.
Okay, any of our OGs out there watching this who's been along for this journey for the entire year, let us know. Did we miss anything? Are you like screaming into the TV like, wait, you forgot about, let us know in the comments. That's all we can remember. And maybe that's a good thing.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. I think that's all we have. If you want to know how the batteries end up and how this trip, you know, where we're at right now, you want to see a little bit more of the behind the scenes of this whole thing, watch this video right here, which would have been the video we released before this video. So, but that's it. That's all. I think we did a good job. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
All right.
Until next time. Bye, guys.